welcome to Opal&Mint. I am Ashley, and today I think this is the most exciting video that I've done yet. I know that's a little bit dramatic, but I am so excited over these paints. I have been just painting and painting. I painted, let's see, 4 things, 4 things last night sitting on the couch with these paints, and I'm using them up like crazy. Now, I showed these paints in my last video, the Amazon art supply haul, and I actually showed swatching them, and I did one painting with them, but I was gonna leave it at that. That's all I was gonna talk about them, but I've been painting with them ever since. I filmed that video, it's been a little while, maybe a week. The important thing is I have fallen in love with these paints, and I wanna show you them a little bit more. I need to show you how much I've used of these. Hold on. I filled these pans up. Do you see how much I've used these paints? I'm in love. Now, if you did not catch that video and you want to see me swatching these out, I will link that video below. But I am talking about Super Vision Watercolors, and I had never heard of these. I happened to see them on Black Friday when I was shopping, and I honestly don't even know. I'm trying to figure out where they're from, where they're made. I don't know. The box on them says CAAM Masters of Watercolor, and the paints are called Super Vision. I don't know if the brand is Super Vision. I still have not been able to find out. On this box it says made in China. I saw somebody else's review say they were made in California, which I don't think is true because there's definitely non-English on here. So I don't know where they come from. I don't know how they're made, but I love painting with them, and I wanted to show you them a little bit more in action. So this is what I painted in my haul video. I have no words. In my haul video, just did a very simple, quick painting. I want to show you what I have painted since, and then we're going to paint some more with them because I am so excited over these paints. So here are the swatches. These, I didn't tell you what these paints are other than Super Vision. They are granulating, they are separating. They call them layering paints, but I don't think that is because you're supposed to layer them, because you layer all watercolors. I think they are layering in that the colors separate into such different, like this is one color, it looks like layered colors, but they are beautiful, and they just add some magic to the page that it's something you can't fully control. It's more instinctual. I don't know. Anyways, let me show you the next things I painted. I just painted some more flower. Again, of course, everything I've painted is flowers. I just feel like these colors and this paint, I just want to do flowers. I might try to do something different today, but I've painted lots and lots of flowers with these. This was what I started with last night, and I lied. This is the first one. That was the last one. This is what I started with last night, and I loved this style, so I expanded upon it, and I did several different ones. This one is one of my favorites. Hold on. Let's tone this down a little bit. This is one of my favorites. I love the colors. I love the carefreeness of it. And then I did a background on this first. I wanted to see how they would layer. And I did a background first and then did some flowers and leaves here. And then lastly, I ended up with this one. I added a little bit more of the blue to the purple flowers, and I just love these paints. So we're gonna turn the camera around. We're gonna play with these paints some more together and see what else we can come up with. I might try to do like a Christmas themed painting. Oh, there's one. I did do one that's not flowers. I can't believe I didn't show you this one. I did this on Instagram Reels. It's on Shorts as well. But I just used 2 colors for this, and the colors separated so beautifully, and it was the most simple landscape ever because of the multiple colors in the paints. So landscapes with these, absolutely stunning. So we're gonna turn around, we're gonna dive in, we're gonna play with some paint. I don't know what I'm painting yet, but I'm excited to get into this. Let's get a closer look at some of these just so you can see how these paints look. They're just so pretty. The first one I did had a lot more water and a lot more separating and very, very pretty. I love them. Okay. So I think I want to start with a floral just because I want to show you how I went about painting these. And then I might go into something Christmassy with it's actually blue-orange. The color that I paint green, it's actually blue-orange. But it turns out to a really pretty green in most cases. So let's turn the page here. And I'm actually going to have this up here for reference. And we're going to basically paint this again. And I want the paints to be in view so you can see what paints I'm using. There's my water. I'm going to use a different brush. I want to use this one, but I think this one might be a little bit too big, but I'll just paint really big flowers. Okay. Let's see here. So just for a recap here, I need something to get these magnets to stick on here. Any suggestions in the comments? Because the sticky that came on the magnets is not working. Okay. So this green color here is the blue-orange. This blue color here is the blue-violet. And then this one it's called something purple. I should probably look up what that means. Yeah, I'm not really sure why it's called that, but that's what it's called. Oh, I want more colors in this. Okay, let's go move on here. All right, so I'm just going to go into painting this, and I'm going to start with the light strokes. So these have not been wet yet, and so I'm going to take a little bit of water and get just a little bit of paint, and we're just going to start with very watery color here. And I'm just not being precise, just painting kind of strokes coming out from the center. So I want this will be coming from behind the darker ones. So we put those on. I'm being very sloppy, just kind of, there we go. So I'm gonna have this one giant flower, and then I'm gonna put some smaller ones around. This is a much larger brush than I was using there. That's why I'm painting much larger. But I actually kind of like the larger flower. So that. I'm going to put kind of a bud right here. So that one's not fully bloomed. This one I've got coming onto the corner of the page. Then I want one more coming here. Just coming out this bottom. Okay, so very, very light for the first layer on this. And then I'm going to go into the green color, which is blue-orange. And I'm going to, again, very watery version of this. And I am going to start putting, and these leaves, I don't want them to be like perfect leaf shapes. I'm just putting kind of splotches of green on the page. I don't want this to be perfect at all. Just random strokes going on the page. Some of it touching flowers. And you'll see this green color as it starts to separate. You'll see those blues and oranges. I need this page to be kind of down. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the second layer of purple. It's not, actually, do I want to put some blues in this one? I think I do. I'm gonna put just a little bit of blue in there. So I'm gonna take the blue, so this is the blue violet, and I'm just gonna add in a couple of random light strokes into the purple that we have going already. So again, just a little bit light blue coming through here. Okay, I'm going to dry this and then we'll move on to the second layer. Okay, so it's not fully dry, it's just a little bit more dry. I don't want to dry it completely for this second layer. So we're gonna take a little bit more concentrated of the purple, still kind of watery though. And we're just gonna come inward. Paper is bending quite a lot. All right, getting a little bit darker on the bud. All right, and then this needs to dry fully before we do the darker layer. All right, while the purple is still finishing up, drying all the way, I'm gonna go into the green, so blue-orange, and do a darker layer on some of these leaves and kind of next to some of the leaves. So kind of overlapping, just adding another layer of depth. Again, just kind of placing these wherever feels good. Then I want a couple of more lighter ones. So I'm just watering down my paint and I'm just putting some green spots in there. Right now the green is overwhelming the flower because there's not as much depth in the flower, but that's going to change when we add more layers to that flower. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go into the purple and we're going to get really saturated this time. All right, and we're going to start that saturation on, let's see, take some of the water out of the brush. This one over here is turned into a blob, so we need to kind of put some definition here. And then darker on this one. And we're just adding those layers in there of different depth. Very pigmented saturation of this. Okay, so now we're going into the main event here. Coming out from the middle. And then I'm going to take the blue and get pretty saturated amount of this blue. So this is the blue violet. Very, very saturated. And I'm just going to put some dots for the middle of that flower, the middle of this flower, and then just the base here on those. All right, I'm gonna let this dry and then we're gonna see, I feel like I need one more layer to pull this together. Okay, so on this bigger flower, the layer in between, the flower was still really wet, so it kind of blended in there, and there's not like 3 distinct different layers. So I want to put a medium layer on top of this dark layer already. So we're gonna see how that works, but I think I want to do it in the blue and not the purple, because I added the blue in a smaller one and I really liked the way the blue looked. So we're gonna go into the blue shade. This is Blue Violet, and I'm going to just put a few strokes in here. Trying to get good consistency of paint. Okay, that's pretty. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of the purple. This is why I've used so much of the paint, is the concentration I've been using on these paints is a lot thicker with the painting that I've done. And I've painted so many, like, they're just fascinating to me. So I'm doing these little shorter strokes here in the middle that are like thicker paints coming out. And I think that's where I want to leave that. Let's do... Okay. Okay. All right. So I think this is going to be done now. And we are going to move on to something else. I don't know what. Maybe a Christmas card. Let's do a Christmas card with these paints. I don't know yet. I think I want to do a Christmas tree just because of the colors that I have. So let's scooch on in a little bit here. So I'm going to start with water. These paints do so well. These paints do really well with a lot of water. So if you're wanting to get that full effect out of these paints, use a lot of water. So I'm just putting water down kind of in the shape of a tree. And now I'm going to go into the green, again, blue orange. I'm saying it every time just because this looks green, but the color is called blue orange. So I'm just going to tap, again, this will be wet on wet, and I'm going to tap this color down through this tree shape. I just love watching that. It's fascinating to me. Oh. So the different water to pigment ratios that you have, the different these colors are going to look. So the more water you have, the more separation you're going to have on these paints. So if I do a really thick version of this paint, it's going to look more just green, which evidently is a combination of this blue and this orange. And if I do a lot of water, I'm going to have more of that separation of blue and orange. So I am just going through and kind of getting a little bit of a shape going. I am trying not to overwork it because I'm loving the way this looks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that. I'm going to add a little bit more this side right here just because it's a little bit lighter. And then I want to leave it alone and let it dry. I'm not going to dry it with a hand dryer because it does push things around when you use that. I'm just refining my shape a little bit. But I want to see how these dry just with no assistance, no help here. Sorry, I just want to fuss with this shape a little bit. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to let this dry. So I'm going to give it, I don't know, a good 5 minutes. And we're going to see what this looks like because I think It's gonna look like a Christmas tree with lights and ornaments all on its own with just one color, and it's so pretty. And then we'll go from there. I'm not really sure what else I'm gonna do on this yet, but that alone, insanely simple, very cool. All right, it's been several minutes later. I got stuck into the Instagram Reels world. It's far too easy to do that and then realize that, 10, 15 minutes have gone by. Okay, so I've also been sitting here thinking, what do I want to do? I could totally leave this and it's beautiful and just write Merry Christmas over it. And I've considered that. But I also have thought about putting ornaments on here too, even though it looks beautiful. I hate to ruin it. It's fine. I'm going to take the purple and I'm going to put little ornaments on here, and let's see what this looks like. I think I may change my mind. I don't know. Hold on. Let's see. I like it without the ornaments. Let's see here. No. Okay. I'm not going to paint anything else on this. I love it the way it is. I did like a cutesy ornament tree. I did some Christmas cards the other day, and I think this is adorable, but with these paints, I want it to shine. So I'm going to leave that. I still can't believe how beautiful that paint is. So, I am almost done. I want to do, let's see, one more thing. Tore the page. I really liked this one too. This was a favorite. I've torn the page a lot on this Fluid 100. I love this paper, but it does tear easily when I'm taking it off. So I'm going to just paint something now, and I'm not going to talk through it. Probably just going to put music over this and sped up, so I can just kind of, go into the state of painting and not explaining. It's different painting when you're explaining things. So I'm going to just veg out and paint. Okay, so I've been playing with this for a while, and I haven't put any more paint on this page or on my brush since the initial line of paint that I put on there. As I started doing this, I decided to challenge myself to try to paint something with just that one color and without going in with more. And it's interesting what you can do with these, because they can, since they do have different pigments and different colors within them, even as they're drying, moving those pigments around. Again, I have not gone back in with any more paint, and I have not, it's just the initial, what was on the page with that first line that I did. And I'm kind of just, as it's drying, which some of it is dry, some of it's not yet, but as it's drying, just continuing to move those pigments around. It's interesting. I'm able to lift by getting water, but I'm not adding anything else to my brush. And so I'm going to continue to play around and fuss with this and see what ends up looking like. I'm sure I could paint something a lot better if I were to go into some more paints and stuff, but I am just curious what I can come up with by just using that first initial line of paint. So I'm going to continue this process, and this brush is driving me a little bit crazy. But I'm going to continue with this brush too. But yeah, this is interesting. All right, so I'm going to stop there. Again, this is not like magnificent or anything. It's actually kind of, I don't know. I could keep messing with this. But I thought that was a fun little challenge as I just started painting to continue with that. But anyways, I want to show you how I painted this one really fast. So I'm going to do a tiny version of an actual landscape just on this little piece of paper right here. I'm going to set this to the side. I was fascinated by that. So for the landscape that I did, and I put this on Instagram Reels, so you can see that exact one, how I painted it, if you would like. But I just took the blue violet, put a sky in here, and got some paper towel and just did some clouds wherever you feel like putting some little happy fluffy clouds. And finish up some clouds here. And then that separates. I'm going to slightly dry the edge. I want it to be wet, but I don't want it to be like water standing there, because I want this to bleed just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go into the blue-orange. So this green. Kind of like I did with this painting here, is you can move pigments around a little bit to create your shadows and hills and valleys and stuff like that. So that's what I did here with this color, and do a little bit is I placed the color down, and then I just moved the pigments around to have shadows and whatnot. And then you just let it dry and do its thing. And that is a quick, I don't know, that took like 30 seconds. The one I did bigger is I did 2 layers on the sky. So if you want a bluer sky, you can do 2 layers, or, you know, deepen up the pigment in the beginning. But literally you can paint a landscape in 30 seconds with these. Absolutely insane. So I'm gonna let that dry, come back, and we're gonna wrap up this video of, obviously you know what I think of these paints, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. Alright, so I went ahead and did another layer on this because I wanted to. So there's like just a winter scene. I did stick to the one color though. I wanted to continue on with the one color. And I might play around with this some more and do some more in the foreground. But I want to conclude this video. So here is the 30-second landscape dried. Again, I can't say enough good things about these paints. I think they are fabulous. I don't really know that what the light fast rating is. I've read some things saying that they don't really have a light fast rating, but on the package it says light fast of 5, and these are all a series 5. I don't know what that means for this one's a series 4, but they all have the same light fast rating on here. I honestly don't have a clue if that is true or not. But when I have a painting that I want to keep, and I will either frame it in a UV protected frame, or there are things you can do if you don't use light fast paints, is what I'm trying to say. There is a clear sealant you can spray. I also have the wax that I seal paintings with. So I'm not super hugely concerned with the light fast rating, but if that's something that concerns you, I would do more research on that. But the thing that I like most about these paints is that they are something to get your creativity moving, something to come up with new challenges, to think differently, to paint differently. I have had so much fun the last few days painting with these, and I would really like to have some more colors. I think these 3 are fantastic ones to start with because I've been able to do so much with them, but I do want to get some more of these in the near future. So let me know if you have tried these, if you've heard of these. I would like to know other opinions and thoughts in the comments. If you've had a bad experience, let me know. But that is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. That was a weird bye. Don't know what I'm painting yet, but I'm putting paint on the page. Can you tell I have a 6-year-old? Hey guys, and welcome to Opal&Mint. I am Ashley. I don't know what this was. I'm Ashley. Where can they be? Let's go to the magical box of paints. Find the Super Vision.